Alright, yo. So we are in round... I don't know. We're in round 1. That was really hard to think of, huh? We're in round 1 of the Yaudamingus tour. No, this is... What tour is this? This is the JoeUX9 tour. He definitely has a scary team. Just because we have Trick Room in prison doesn't really mean anything. He has Make It Rain, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Shadow Ball. I think Ivy Cudgel Boy is generally going to be a good start here. So we probably lead like Ivy Sudgel. And I actually really like a lead of like these two. So I kind of want to do that. Ivy Sudgel and Baba Booey Boy. And then I bring Lando Dringus in the back. And if we need to, being able to taunt would be really nice. Because we can just lose to Spore Spam. But I get the feeling that it'll probably be more important to... What? They do have Icy Wind, so they have Booster Energy, Icy Wind. This is a best of 1 tour, which is what makes this difficult. Because technically, I might have been best off starting Torn and Ivy Sudgel Boy. I think was actually, all things considered, a better start. So Torn plus Ivy Sudgel looked a little bit better there. They do lead Flutter Ursh. So like, my big concern here, right, is gonna be that I don't have a good way to stop their speed boost, right? So this is actually like almost 100% why I should have started a different start, basically. But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just Ivy Sudgel the Flutter and then switch into Torn. Like, I think if you're my opponent, just close combat Shadow Ball into the Torn slot looks strong. And all things considered, I probably shouldn't have switched in Torn for the free sack. Like, giving them Torn is not good. So... At this point... we did do the wrong start, so that's one of the worst things that's going for us right now. But we probably just bring in Finn, and we click, you know, Tailwind Heat Wave. It's really all we can do. I led the wrong lead, you know. If I had led Torn... If I had led Ivy Sudgel plus Torn, we would be in a really good position. Did you withdraw Urshifu into Iron Hands? We go for Tailwind. We hit our Heat Waves, we do a lot. They go for Icy Wind. So, they do have Sucker Punch, which is going to be the main problem for me here. Because, okay, actually no. I'm just gonna go for the Bleak Wind and the... That's a really good play. They actually do outspeed me. That's pretty bad. Alright, we're gonna have to really think here. If that's the case. So we bring out Lando Dringus, they bring out Goldango Dringus. I think in this case, pretty much my only out is to go for Terra Blast here. And try to get the Heat Wave. But we can win this. We can win this. If we don't get the KO on Iron Hands, we probably lose. But it also depends on if Heat Wave would KO either way, right? We're in a winning position, but we're not in like a guaranteed win. Okay, so that was step one. Now we just need step two. Okay, that's step two. Okay, so we should win. The only way they get out of this is a Sucker Punch crit on Landorus somehow winning them the game, right? So we go for Heat Wave, Terra Blast. That does quite a lot. So I was right that a Sucker Punch crit might have won them the game. But GG's. GG's. See what happens in the next one. I almost just stopped recording right now. I'm like, alright, we're done, we're good. No, we gotta show that we won, right? We gotta show the winning screen. That was a good one. That was good. Alright, y'all. So our opponent has a pretty scary looking team here. Choice Specs Chiyu, Doodle Grafii, Taunt, or Landorus with Scarf, Ivy Sudgel. They have their own Tailwind. Then they have Assault Vest and Polion. Okay. They have Rock Ogerpon, which it does say Cornerstone, so that's correct. We technically have Trick Room Fluttermane, but it's not going to get us that far. I think I kind of want to just lead Landorus, even though it could bite me in the boot. And then bring Cornerstone. That kind of loses to theirs, doesn't it? I really like this here. I kind of think I'm gonna risk leaving Ogerpon behind. I think their Ogerpon looks way better than mine does right now. And if they just lead Empoleon, that's like a really good lead for them. I wouldn't, if I was them, But then again, my team's not, like, that good against Empoleon. Yeah, okay. That's fine. So I go Lando Dringus and the other one. Lando Dringus and the other one. They're going to try to hope that they're faster than me, which they aren't. Which is one of the best things I have going for me. I actually think the damage on Ogerpon is more important here. So I'm going to go for Tailwind and Doodle. If they're going to Ogerpon right now, that's really bad for them because I clicked Stomping Tantrum. If they click Parting Shot, that gets them slightly somewhere, but like only slightly, if that makes sense. They go for Dudo. They go for Dudo. Okay. What a weird play. I get it, but it is a weird play. So they get the Dudo. I think here bringing out Finn is going to be much more important than bringing out anything else, because in this case, if I just go for the Stomping Tantrum and the Heat Wave, like, I'm really not in a bad position. I could see how... Okay, so there's that. But, like, Stomping Tantrum plus Heat Wave should always KO them. Obviously, we have to deal with the fact that Heat Wave is Heat Wave, which makes this harder, but they should bring out Landorus, probably. Right? Lander? Empoleon. Okay, not trash. It's okay, guys. It's not trash. It's actually not trash, so it's fine. Good. That being said, though, we're not, like, just winning, right? I do think my best play... They have Icy Wind, which is a bit scary, but I think it's gonna be better for me to just go for the Stomping Tantrum Heat Wave here. So they're gonna Dudo again. We just KO'd that with a crit, which is pretty bad for them. Alright, Heat Wave, you got me? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You see that? Did you see that? It does not have me. So... What's the problem here? The problem... There's not really a problem. If they go for Dudo again, obviously, I think that's not a bad play. But we go for the -2 Stomping Bonk. And we just got a double KO. Okay, cool. They go for Doodle. But the Doodle does not win them the game. So Doodle Bob is fun. I respect it. I'm glad they got a win with it. But no Doodle for you. Alright, yeah, cool. So we'll see what happens in the next one. Alright, y'all, so we are starting this round a minute or two late because my laptop was being dumb. But it is all good. Our opponent does have a scary team. I like, quote unquote, want to lead Torn plus something. Like Torn Landorus is kind of the route that I want to go, but it's definitely not perfect. We bring Ogerpon in the back, and then we probably have to bring Flutter. So, yeah, my computer for some reason decided that it was gonna delete on its own the fact that my audio input 1 is my Elgato. So it went from being my Elgato to nothing. So I kept trying to get my audio to work, and it was not working. I was like, why? Turns out the computer just decided to disconnect the Elgato from the place that I set it as. Very unnecessary, very rude boy. And I almost missed check-in for round 3 because of it. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. So they will start that, which I think is a generally good lead. We just go for the Tailwind. And I don't really want to switch out right now. Like, I'd much rather, like, I think if you're them, you should think about, like, I don't know, like, why would you actually tear a Heatran right now? Okay. I think that's really smart. The best thing about that is that technically my last move failed. So I can probably just one-shot the Iron Hands here if they don't switch it out. And, if I was them, I would be afraid of me one-shotting the Heatran right now. But the Heatran is Grass Terra. The Iron Hands is Water Terra. So all things considered, they do have some options. We'll have to see. So they do go for the Terra on Heatran, which is kind of what I expected. I'm really hoping that my Stomping Tantrum just, like, wrecks them. Yeah, yeah. So we do that. And we hit the Bleak Wind. So that's pretty big. They go for Heat Wave. The Heat Wave does a lot. But we're in a really good position here. So they do have booster speed. I think it's in my best interest to just keep putting on pressure, because at this point, as long as I do that, we're pretty much winning, right? So we just Stomping Tantrum, Bleak Wind. We get great damage on Bundle. And we hit the Bundle. So that's kind of the most important thing, was like actually hitting Iron Bundle there with our Bleakwind Storm. This will be a little bit scary if Ogerpon comes out. But I think the main positive that we have going for us right now is that... I'm just gonna Bleak Wind, and I'm gonna Stomping Tantrum, and they actually pull off the double protect, which is really big for them, and that could lose me the game. That's so bad. I cannot believe that. Okay, no, I thought we missed Ogerpon. So lowering Ogerpon's speed is a guaranteed win. So that's really big. Because with Ogerpon's speed lowered, we can just bring out Flutter Mane. And we just click Dazzling Gleam, Stomping Tantrum. So we are going to be starting this one 3-0. It's been a while since we started a tour 3-0, so it's a good feeling, right? But there's not much they can do. GG. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Jeez, man. I was so tilted just because my mic wasn't working, right? But we pulled it off. Jeez, man. I was like, this game, this laptop, I don't know what the problem is. Alright, so yeah, 3-0, good start. I think there's only 6 rounds too, if I'm correct, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Alright, y'all, so we are here with round 4 of the JoeUX9 tour. And our opponent has a really good team. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to be able to do versus it. But I do think we have really good options. Like, the biggest problem is going to be Urshifu, probably. They have Urshifu Water. It does have Grass Terra, which is good for them, kind of. And I honestly think Landorus is probably going to be my best last if I can pull it off. So, the big scare here is Urshifu. But we do have quite a bit of ways to deal with Urshifu, especially if we have the chance to utilize... Excuse me. Especially if we have the chance to utilize... Flying Terra, is what I'm trying to say. So, this isn't perfect, but one of the nice things... I actually think my best play right now is probably switch out into Landorus and just go for the Tailwind. Ooh, if they go for Icy Wind, that could be scary, though. So, they will Robbie Wills me. Big respect. They should go for Heavy Slam here. Yeah, so Heavy Slam doesn't do nothing. Like, it does do its fair share. I still think, given what their team looks like, my best play is probably going to be just the Bleakwind Storm stomping, and, like, I don't actually think that I'm winning by tearing, if that makes sense. So they'll go for Icy Wind. It's gonna do, yeah, that, unfortunately. Okay, I think we lose. So the main problem now is that I don't have anything faster than their Tornadus, right? So I can bring in this and this. And my only possible play right now is to Terra the Ivy Sigil, which doesn't feel good. But it is... Ooh. I think they win. I have to go for Dazzling Gleam. And I think maybe Spiky Shield is my best play, but more than likely not. That's gonna lose me the game. So that the speed lowering is really, really bad. My hopes was that by being able to click follow me, that would get me somewhere. But yeah, no, we're just not really in a good position here. So if I can KO them here, that would be technically really good for me. I don't see myself KOing them, so we should lose, right? Like, the best play is always just follow me. And actually, if they miss a Bleakwind Storm here, we might win. But so that's even worse. That double lowering is like, it's just, it's over. So the one thing I could have done is go for the... I could have gone for the Terra with Landorus just to live a hit, but it wouldn't have really won us the game, right? Terrible name, honestly. Like, I'm not a freaking 5-year-old edgelord. Like, it's like. But yeah, GG's. That was a really good game, and like, I think starting Landorus would have helped a little, because ultimately, like, having to switch out Fluttermane was bad, but if I had just gone for the Flutter Mane damage instead, there's a really good chance that we would have been in an okay position. It definitely wouldn't have been a perfect position. Like, so I do think ultimately I probably should have just sacked Flutter and accepted the damage that we were putting on, right? So the big thing is that they have Dragon Terra Iron Hands for some reason, so like they're really gonna just take a lot of damage from Dazzling Gleam either way. And we honestly could have probably... Yeah, so... I think we just go for the Dazzling Gleam. We get our Tailwind up. And then we bring out Iron Hand, or I mean Landorus. We go for the Choice Scarf Flying Terra Blast into Urshifu if we need to. So yeah, there was ways. There was definitely ways. Alright, y'all. We are facing same person we faced in another tour. Heatran, Rillaboom, Farigiraf, Chanpao, Landorus. So, that one of the problems, right, is that I am conditioned into leading Flutter Mane and Torn, technically, right? I don't have to do that. It's just like kind of one of the better leads into their team. There's ways, of course, that they can get around that. And then... Excuse me. The Ivy Sigil Boy is good here. I kind of think my Chanpao might have to be my best last. Like, I feel like I'm seeing that a lot of my teams are bad against... Or just this team. Well, this one and the last one, right? So a lot of them. My teams are bad against Urshifu sometimes. And that is really not a good thing. I don't like what I don't like... I want something other than Chanpao, kind of, is how I feel. So I really think I'd probably like to take Chanpao off, kind of, for something else. They do have that. I don't love the prospect of wasting my Terra just to not get one shot, but I also kind of like it. If that makes sense. Because, like, they should know that they're kind of forcing me to Terra. I think their best play is probably Protect, but it looks like they're going to Terra Water Urshifu. So I think that's smart. I think me not bringing Chi-Yu might lose us the game, because I think spread damage is one of the biggest things my team has going for it. But if they get a double KO here, that might even be better. So they'll go for Ice Bull Crash. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of glad with a double KO. They could double protect, obviously. I do think my back choices are not perfect. But we're gonna rock with it, and I don't think it's terrible. Like, we have Ogerpon Champao. One of the best things they'll be able to do is... I think my best play might be to try to get a Sucker Punch KO here, and then go for Ivy Sigil. That might be greedy. Okay. So I went for a Sucker, failed. Went for an Ivy Sigil, whatever. We actually ran out of time, so that was a pretty good way to have things go. I think this should be fine. They're trying to waste my Tailwind, which I think is smart. This might be Landorus, okay. So I'm expecting... Okay. So the fact that they didn't go for Aqua Jet is gonna be something that can win us the game. Because if they went for Aqua Jet there, they would have broke my Sash. Be very bad, yada yada. I also have Ice Spinner, right? Which I should have remembered, because if I had Ice Spinner, I would have probably clipped it. So I'm gonna go for Ice Spinner, and then the Ivy Sigil. So this should be possibly Heatran, yeah. But I still think we're in a pretty good position here. Like, they're basically just trying to stall, which I totally think is a good play. So my Tailwind Peter's out. I think what I have to do here is Ice Spinner and Ivy Sigil. So if we get the KO here, that should win us the game, possibly. Especially if we get a critical hit with Ogerpon. I'd really like to beat this person because we lost to them last time. They have ability shield. That sucks. I can't believe I fell for that. We need a Sacred Sword crit. Sacred Sword crit. GG's. I went for the right... I literally went for the play I needed to go for. I mean, there's actually not much more to say about it. Okay, that was wild. I mean, he's pretty upset that he lost that way, but I mean, I literally told him. I'm like, dude, I actually called that. Like, oh man. All right, well, yeah, GG's. All right, y'all. So our opponent here has a very scary looking team. We don't actually have a very good way of stopping them from getting Trick Room. Unless we just lead these two, I think. Because, like, we can imprison them. We can put them in a prison. But our best thing to do is going to be to click Dazzling Gleam, Dark Pulse, I think. I'm okay with playing this one a little bit like I'm not sure, because I am already in top cut, and I don't know, this is like a really weird matchup. Like, technically, technically, Chien-Pao is better than Landorus, so I shouldn't have brought Landorus. Technically, if they just go for a fast mode, they could outpace me, actually, with things like Landorus, but they do go Ogerpon 9 kills. So that I will accept. More or less, I'm happy with that. They do have Light Clay Ghost Terra. They also can kind of pressure me into tearing with Finn, and even if I Terra with Finn, I'm not really guaranteed to live a hit, right? So I kind of want to... The thing is, like, I actually do want to try to live a hit, I just don't think I will. Like, I think if they just click Terra, Water, Aurora Veil, that should be their best play. They are going to do that. Okay, so that's almost definitely what we're going to see them do right now. And that means that we'll have to see who they target. But my concern here is, well, we do know that they're faster than Finn, which means they're also faster than Flutter. If they target Finn and Finn lives, amazing. If they target Flutter and Flutter lives, amazing. If one of them goes down, kind of bad. Ooh, faster. Let's see who they're sudgeling. Okay, so that's actually kind of good for me so far. No! Okay. That's not perfect, but we will take it, right? I think we have to bring in Ogerpon. And we know that my Ogerpon will be faster than theirs. They bring in Landorus, which is not good for me. And I actually think it's in my better interest not to hard swap here. So the thing that makes this a hard call is that I know they should probably just protect, right? If they don't, that'd be really nice because I can just try to get really good damage here. But like I'm playing really risky because I know I can kind of, if that makes sense. That's gonna lose us the game. Yeah, GG's. So I think like I first off I said that if I didn't lead what's his face that we could get outpaced. I'm just gonna try to go Rock Slide Woodhammer. Like, that's kind of my only play right now, right? Is to try. I have to try to flinch them back, and then try to KO with Woodhammer, and then go from there, right? And we also need to hope for them to miss things. But they make the right play, which is Spiky Shield. I was gonna say I get the feeling that I should outspeed them with my Rock Slide. So we just need flinchers. Flinchers! Nope. I mean, the only thing I can do is just spam Rock Slide. So they do have a really good team. And they will be taking this win. But we still top cut. I feel really good about it. Like, obviously our last win wasn't perfect, but I literally called what I needed to do to get the win. And, you know, we will take it. And, like, this team was really hard for my team to beat. Like, I think we wouldn't have faced this person if we lost the last one, obviously, but, like, there's pretty much no way I was going to beat this team unless I, like, came up with some sort of crazy solution, which is, like, I would have had to lead, like, Torn, Chiyu, and tried to, like, call everything they're going to do, and even then, it's like, I don't know. It's a big GG's. Big GG's. Sorry, I went to touch my screen. I don't have a touch screen anymore.